Okay. Pull this out. Do. Do, 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 do. Discord keeps telling me to do nitro, but I already have nitro. I just don't have like super package nitro or whatever, which I'm not gonna do. So you can deal with it. I had moved these already and they got shifted back somehow. Windows decided, oh yeah, by the way, I'm just gonna shift. Okay. Oops. There we go. The last time we played, we learned that there is a distinct possibility that Bates is a member of the secret society of the cult, and he's been encouraging things as they go along, which, true or not, is definitely at this point a possibility, right? I mean, if you look at the first game, for example, where Samuel started doing, or where people started dying, I should say, right? And Bates, assuming he's part of the cult, okay? Even if he's not, he saw clear evidence that Samuel was likely the cause of a lot of the death, if not all of the death, right? And because he had spotted that, but didn't do much, like in the last game, I thought it was just, for a while at least, I thought it was just his commitment to the family. Like, well, I'm so loyal to the family that no matter what you do, I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. But Then he killed Robert. Now, I don't remember. I think Bates became aware of that as well. So, Bates knew that he killed William. Bates knew that he killed Robert. That's two members of the family that Samuel killed. So, I think the evidence definitely, at least heavily, the evidence heavily implicates Bates as being part of the cult, and so knowing what was going on fully. If he's not part of the cult, I don't think you can argue that he didn't know what was happening. So if he's not part of the cult, then his loyalty becomes a little puzzling, right? Because yes, you're loyal to the family, but if the family's killing itself, are you really going to be okay with that? I mean, if Samuel is offing multiple members of the family, the survival of the family line becomes less likely, right? If you have somebody who's mentally unstable killing people. That said, Robert was unstable too, right? I mean, all the stuff he was doing in the asylum is definitely not okay. So I guess technically nobody, except for possibly Madame Victoria, is that her name? Anyway, is, nobody except for her maybe is sane, and she is married into the line, so into the family, so she's not exactly got the same problems with the bloodline as William's descendants would have had, right? So, I think it's time we're going to go ahead and start, or continue, I guess. Not starting new, continuing, of course. It's interesting where different things have taken. Just kind of like little review of some of the places we've been in the game. Interesting. These obviously are both the same. Pretty much the same spot, but more's been accomplished. Okay.
XVIII is written on the bottom corner. Ah, a Roman 18.
Right. So, I don't remember where I wrote the others down. So I guess I'll do it again. Hang on. Unless I wrote it. No, I did not. Okay. So Roman 18. I remember one of them was a 1. I think one of them was a 3. Let's just go back out, actually. Let's go here. Here. This was a 1, right?
There isn't really anything to see on the base of this figurine. Just a vertical line. Is it supposed to be a Roman 1?
I think this one's 3, and then I don't remember what the last one is.
There's a Roman numeral carved into the base of the figurine.
Oh.
19.
19. So I guess the other one is a 3. I thought there was a 3 among them. Let me look, just make sure.
XX is engraved on the base.
No.
Either there's an X missing to warn of its lewdness, or it's a Roman 20.
Okay. So there was no 3. I'm glad I looked again. There were absolutely no 3s in the set of numbers. Okay, so I don't know. I guess we just tried them in different combinations. I don't know what order we need for those. So.
It almost looks like a combination lock, just with symbols instead of numbers. Who am I kidding? There are thousands of possible combinations. I'm not gonna get any further with trial and error. I first need to find out which symbols are the right ones.
Oh, so those are symbols, no numerals. So where was I using the Roman numerals? I don't remember now. I thought that was it. Wasn't there a book or something also? Shoot. Okay, let me look at his journal. I don't remember now. Bates being the half name. Okay. That should be easy, even if I can't ask Bates. After all, Lady Victoria will know what her brother's Christian name is. No one seems to know Bates' first name. Perhaps it's written down somewhere in a letter. That's right. Right, so we have a rose symbol. Oh, right. These converted to letters. Star. Okay, so Rose, Star, Bates' Christian name, and then, or his first name, same thing. And then portrait of Sir Egmont. How do I make Sally believe that he can make her brother's speeding ticket disappear?
Newspaper articles about Samuel Gordon's killing spree. Oh, that must have been the story at the time. Gruesome ritual murder, violence, mystical hocus pocus. An absolute feast for the press. That looks like some kind of an aid memoir that Bates has written out. He must have conceded that his memory wasn't getting any better and wanted to play it safe. It says here, on Sir Egmont's to build Mike the nymph's... The documents prove that Bates had transferred money to my mom every month. Sadly, there's no clue to whoever he was doing it for. I reckon that this page isn't gonna help me much more without the rest of the diary.
Can't remember. I think I might need glue or something for that. I don't even know for sure that these go together, but I feel like they do. So this says diary, and this is diary, right? But
Either the writing on the photo is wrong, or not just looking for my father. The picture was taken apparently 2 months before I was born. But my mom's looking slimmer than I've ever seen her.
trying to think what. So how am I gonna make Sally think that we can get her brother's speeding ticket solved?
Perhaps I can find out something about Sally's brother. Hello, operator? Can you connect me with, Mr. Rupert Wood, please? No, I don't know where he lives. How many have you got in your computer? 18? Yes, okay. 18 Rupert Woods. That's gonna take too long.
Find out where Sally's from, but I'm trying to think how I'm gonna do that. Maybe we go ask her where she's from? I don't know. Maybe we ask Bates? I don't know.
Can you tell me where Sally's from?
Her family has a farm in Sussex. At least that's what she told me.
Do you doubt that?
Not really. Her behavior and the way she talks quite clearly point to farmyard origins.
I'll catch you later, Bates.
Goodbye, sir.
Yeah, so. Let's try it again.
Let's try it. Hello, operator? Please put me through to Rupert Wood in Sussex. Yes, I'll wait. Mr. Wood, Mr. Rupert Wood. Do you have a sister named Sally? Yes, my name's Inspector Falk. I'm calling on behalf of the traffic police. Yes, calm down. No, listen. No, she isn't. It's concerning your speeding ticket, sir. It seems as though someone has made a mistake. According to our records, you are 99 years old. Huh, that surely can't be right, can it? 34. Yes, I thought so. Listen, I'm gonna delete the record, okay? Your speeding ticket is thereby null and void. Yes. No problem. Goodbye, Mr. Wood. Rupert Wood, 34, from Sussex, now believes that his speeding ticket has disappeared into thin air. Hopefully his sister believes that too.
Now, talk to Sally again.
Good day, Sally.
Yes?
All right. The speeding tickets have been canceled. Now, what's all this about Sir Egmont?
So, where does my brother live and how old is he?
Rupert Wood, 34, domiciled in Sussex, as of now, does not have any speeding tickets against him.
You're a darling.
Okay, that's enough. Now, will you at last tell me who Sir Egmont is?
Here he is.
Breakfast cereal?
Sir Egmont's finest breakfast flakes. They're Bates's favourite. They're very soft and easy to chew.
Clever. And what does the old guy wear on his uniform? A medal in the shape of a cross. That's it. Okay. I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Ah, don't worry about it.
Of course, don't worry about it. Because. Okay.
Sir Egmont's breakfast flakes. They show some grumpy old guy in a uniform. There's a huge, great medal on his chest in the shape of a cross.
Okay. Okay, so now got that. small cross. So there's cross, rose. Crossroads something star. How am I gonna find out his last name?
The documents prove that Bates had transferred money to my mom every month. Sadly, there's no clue to whoever he was doing it for.
So apparently we don't have any kind of legal document indicating anything about Bates. That's interesting. Why does nobody know? There's nothing in his room? Where else would I find legal information? I would need... If I use the phone again? Probably not.
An old-fashioned telephone. But who should I call?
Okay, so we're not calling a records office. I looked everywhere in here, I'm pretty sure, right? So, other than the jewelry box, I don't think there's anything else to interact with in here. Yeah, no, there's nothing. Let me think. Where else would documents be kept? There's an office somewhere, but we, at least in this game, don't seem to be able to access the office, right? The angle they give us for upstairs is just Bates' room and the bathroom and the phone.
I'll never be able to look in the mirror again without a shiver running down my spine.
God, what was in there?
The water on the floor and in the bathtub is gone, as well as the flannel. The water on the...
Okay.
They're drinking tea. I don't want to annoy them. I don't have any important questions for her right now.
Yeah. If there were a desk with, not just a table with some random documents on it, that might have something, but I don't. And nothing continues farther over this way, right? Yeah, no. Just goes to the tree, but that's it. I don't think Lyle, whatever his name is, out working on the car. I don't think he'll have anything, but we can see. I don't know which way is going to be fastest to this one.
I'd rather leave him to his work.
Nothing to ask Lyle. I don't know. Hey, Silhouette, welcome. So I got Sally's brother's. I got Sally thinking her brother's ticket was removed, so that she told us about Sir Egmont's on the Oat Flakes cereal. So the only thing I'm missing is Bates's Christian name. I don't know how I get that. I'm trying to think. I was like, well, over there, are there any bureaus or desks where there's a drawer where his, you know, some document about his hiring or something might be put? I don't see anything there. I don't see anything like a diary other than Bates's own diary, but I don't see any other like family diaries or something where somebody would have said, we've just hired a new butler, Bates XYZ, and I don't see anything like that. So I'm trying to think where I will find his last name. I tried using the phone again to see if we could call a records office or something, and he said he didn't know who he was going to call, so that's not an option. So I have to figure out I can't go back to the hotel, I don't think, right? Because there are going to be cult people kind of swarming it. Otherwise, I could potentially ask Murray if he knew anything. And they can't go to Willow Creek to look at the library for any kind of municipal records or anything there. So I don't know. You can't get into the basement, so that's not a new place. Trying to think out of the things we have, because earlier Darren said he did not want to ask Bates directly, and in fact when I just went like 10-15 minutes ago, whatever it was, 10 minutes ago I think, and asked Bates where Sally's brother lived, that was the only conversation item. There was no other conversation item for like asking him his last name. So I have to find it some other way, obviously. And of course, you know this, Silhouette, because you've played this before. But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to work through things in my head, right? So up the stairs, there's the phone, which he doesn't want to use. There's the bathroom, which we've already done. As far as I could tell, we've done everything in the bathroom. There's Bates' bedroom. That's where we need the last symbol for the jewelry box. If Bates' last name is something like Christensen, you could say Christian Cross, or maybe Cross is the symbol. But there are other last names you could probably do something similar with, right? Where you can find some last name and somehow associate a symbol with it. That's not really going to tell me which symbol I need, right? So... in the library, it's just Victoria and Eleanor are having tea, so I don't want to disturb them, he says. There's a table with a bunch of documents on it, but I can't interact with any of those. There's the family tree, but the family tree I don't think is going to be helpful because Bates isn't family. Treated like such, yes, but he's not actually family, so he's not in the family line. Then sometime with Black Mirror, don't remember all the details anymore. That's okay. That's fine. I mean, you'll probably, as soon as I figure it out, or find it out if I have to look it up, but as soon as I find it out one way or another, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm sure. I'm just saying that I think there's a possibility you would already know, and if you don't, that's fine too. Obviously, I don't care that much. I just how am I gonna find? Because I don't know of any legal. See, if you had like a document about when Bates got hired or something, that would have his last name, right? Obviously, legally, it would have to. But see, there's this medical equipment too, and I thought, well, maybe I could call like a hospital or something and ask about medical records or something for this. Of course, they probably wouldn't give me them, but even still, I cannot interact with them, so that's for sure not something that we're going to be doing. Yeah, see, I went through all these, like, books and things. I don't see any. The only thing I see in the books is if I go too far over and it says go back to the corridor. So, hey, Faux Fox, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Even if you're here only briefly, welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to look up how to find Bates's last name. I don't know where I'm going to look. Let me wander around a little bit more and see if I could figure something else out. So I was already in the bathroom. Wait, does this has Bates on it, right?
Either the writing on the photo is wrong, or I'm not just looking for my father. The picture was taken apparently 2 months before I was born. But my mom's looking slimmer than I've ever seen her.
That's okay. I actually started, maybe within the last half an hour of my stream yesterday, I started nodding off a little bit. I don't know what was going on, but somehow. How am I gonna use this in conjunction with something else? So right click for more information, he just says what he just did. So how do I don't think he's gonna have his last name here, right? Otherwise, I should be able to use this on something or whatever to reveal that. I don't think there's anything. I'm assuming this is not going to do anything for any of the stuff I have, but I'm going to try. Anyway, just so that I can have tried and not kick myself later. Like, I totally should have tried that. Yeah, no. Where is this place? Did you ever see the first Black Mirror game I played? So this is inside Black Mirror Castle, where probably 80% of the first game took place. 75% of the first game took place. This is just a different angle and a different hallway than where we previously were in the other game. But it's the same castle. This is in England, if you're looking for a broader sense of where stuff is. It's in an area of England that is kind of, I think it's supposed to be kind of isolated, so that really there's the castle, the Black Mirror Castle, and then there's a small town called Willow Creek nearby, and that's pretty much all that there is for miles and miles and miles. So in the beginning of this second game, we were in Biddeford, Maine. Biddeford, Massachusetts. No, Maine. He was going to school at Boston, Massachusetts, and he ended up in Biddeford, Maine. Yeah. So we were in Biddeford, Maine at the beginning of the game. Then after the first chapter or two happened, then we found our way with a plane. We came across the ocean to England to look for Angelina, because Angelina disappeared. Angelina was the girl in that first game that we saw where we're like, oh, we're in love with her, or whatever he said exactly. It's just towels, right? I don't think we're going to get anything more from that.
A pile of towels. Small ones, big ones, nothing but towels.
We did use this earlier to block up the tub as a distraction. I don't know that we have anything else, though. And I think, if I remember it, this whole thing is just that top drawer. So if I go way down to the bottom, yeah, it's just towels.
A pile of towels.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get
Small
myself
ones,
something
big
to
ones, nothing but towels.
drink, go refill. So I will see you guys in just a minute here. Welcome back. Small ones, big ones, nothing but towels. Yeah. He's like, it's towels. You want me to get excited about this or something? It's towels. Move on. Yeah. But we, like I said, we did use this once to plug up the bathtub earlier for a distraction. So we did use it. It just, at this point, we're like, yeah, okay. But there's nothing more I want to do with this. I don't know why I would find anything about Bates' last name in here. Seems unlikely. I don't know any...
That's Angelina's diary. She describes a time in Maine in it. The pages that follow have been torn out. Those are the pages I found in the hotel. There's nothing before all that. She seems to have only started writing a diary with her going to the U.S. Tuesday, I found him.
He's called
Yeah,
Darren Michaels.
there's nothing...
Or rather,
There's nothing... That's all just USA stuff, so there's nothing about Bates in there. This is the thing to Darren from Angelina warning him. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if... I don't think she talks about Bates in here. Let me look really fast.
Angelina's message to me. Darren, I hope this letter finds you.
I can't tell you just how sorry I am that I wasn't honest with you right from the start. I've
Trying
underestimated
to
the danger from
ignore
the water for way
her
too long.
speaking so we can go
I've been
faster
playing a
through
little
this
game,
and see.
and now it looks like I've lost. The Order's
Something about the
agents are creeping
order.
through the ruins.
Dead
It's only a matter of
bodies.
time until they discover this room. I'm going
She's
to
looking
hide
for him
the
because of the
pieces,
dark
and I'm going to try
rituals.
to break through to get to the village. Perhaps I can at least
As long as the
keep them
keys
away
are
from the
summoning chamber
Should
are
you
not
be reading this
destroyed.
letter? Then I haven't
Do
read
do
it.
do
And so,
They're
I
hidden
ask
somewhere.
you to complete my work. You don't believe in the curse, I know that.
Maximilian Mortimer
Could
Gordon.
you
We already used that
be so far
information.
away?
You have to return to
But I came
Black Mirror
across some illustrations during my
Castle.
studies, and it's
I don't
all
think she
true.
says anything about Bates
Terrible
in
things
here, though,
happen
right?
here
Does she?
every 12 years. And that's been going on for centuries. Maybe it's mass suggestion.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
see.
it's some kind of radiation.
I don't see anything about Bates in there. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's anything about Bates in that. Got 2 tiles.
I reckon that this page isn't gonna help me much more without the rest of the diary. Newspaper articles about Samuel Gordon's killing spree. Oh, that must have been the story at the time. Gruesome ritual murder, violence, mystical hocus pocus. An absolute feast for the press.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like there's anything with Bates there either. I haven't used the camera much. At the beginning of the game, they're like, sometimes you can take special pictures of certain things, and I've been like, meh, okay, maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
I'll give him a few minutes break from me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So nothing more to say to him right now. The family tree again, but I don't think I'm going to get anything new from that. Bates, yeah, Bates, yeah, like the Bates Motel. That Bates is the butler here, but apparently Bates is his last name. Nobody knows his first name, and that's apparently one of the clues we need is his first name. So, and his first name, Norman, yeah. And his first name is supposed to give us a clue about a symbol. So if we go over here, We have 4 symbols we're supposed to use to get into a jewelry box that's in his room. Okay, so the first clue was Sir Egmont. And there's a breakfast cereal with a small cross on, like, it's the breakfast cereal has a picture of a soldier with a small cross on it. So the cross is the symbol for this clue, okay? The builder's oldest sister. So we looked at this family tree and we found out that the builder was Frederick Arthur Gordon mostly, and his oldest sister was named Rose. So you have a cross, a rose, and then we don't know this one. And then this last one, it was a series of numbers, which if you match the number to what position in the alphabet the letter is, you come out with star. S or ST. Yeah, you had to arrange them in a certain order. And I don't know, I think he just kind of figured, well, what if I do these numbers in different orders? So STAR. Anyway, so this last symbol is star. So we have cross, rose, something, star. So his first name should translate to or have similarity with like a symbol of some kind. Right? And I was thinking, well, you could say something like, you could guess things and say like Christian. I mean, we already have a cross, but before we had this breakfast cereal, I was like, Christian could be, their symbol, the symbol of Christianity is a cross, so maybe that's the cross as the symbol or something. But you could do that with a lot of names. Like you can say Leo is a lion, so maybe there's a lion. There's a lion crest up here, for example. So maybe there's a lion is the symbol, But that's the thing. There are a lot of names you could do that with, so it's really, you can't just say, try this name, try this name, try this name. I think he has to have the last symbol to be able to respond. And I don't think there's anything over here with the tree, this family tree, that's going to help us. All of this is back, so for sure nothing to the left of here. We already looked at this. We know that there's some descendants from Samuel's line. I think it's just Samuel's line, even though it crosses out here with Richard and Eleanor. I think it's just Samuel's line. But anyway, there's some descent from Samuel's line they've painted over it so that there isn't actually that descendant, even though there should have been. But that doesn't help us with Bates. Bates is not, there's no way Bates is a descendant or is a child of Samuel. Because in the last game, Bates was there as well. Bates was already like 20 years older than Samuel. So there's no way he's older than Samuel, cannot be Samuel's kid, obviously. So, not unless you have a weird marriage swap around thingy or incest or something. But even still, he wouldn't be that much older. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to get it from the tree here. Nope, we have zero clue what his first name starts with. The only thing we know is his last name is Bates. That's literally all we know. We've asked these ladies. So this lady here, Victoria, she's now, after the events of the last game of the first game, Black Mirror, after those events, the rest of the family line is gone. So Samuel's father was Randall, and there was Elisa, okay? Samuel's father, I'm trying to remember if he was killed or I think he was just like put into an asylum or something. So his father wasn't even in the picture in the first game. I don't know what happened to Elisa. I don't remember what happened to her. William is the very beginning of the first game. William is the guy that falls from the tower and dies. The very beginning, before the game even really gets going. So that's his grandfather. So William died. Randall's like institutionalized. Robert gets killed halfway or 2/3 of the way through the first game. Samuel turns out to be insane at the end of the first game. Okay, so that's kind of the family line, really, Samuel ended up sometime after the first game, between then and now, at least as far as we know, what's been officially reported or something like that, Samuel's dead. So if we go, I don't know that we can say that for sure. I have no idea, but let's assume that's correct. Okay, so if Samuel's dead, and I only say I don't know for sure because we're going off of stuff we've heard in the second game. So at the end of the first game, Samuel was very much alive. In the second game, we can only go off of things we've read or heard saying that Samuel died. So we don't have evidence, but I don't necessarily have a reason to disbelieve that he's dead either. So just going off of that assumption, so Samuel's dead. Randall probably is dead by this point, but maybe is still institutionalized or something, okay? Robert is dead. William is dead. So all these, and I don't know what I believe Robert divorced his wife Sophie. I think Robert had divorced his wife. So Sophie's not in the picture anymore. Elisa, I think, died, but I don't remember how. And Catherine died for sure. Samuel killed Catherine in part of his insanity. Very opening credits of this game, we see that scene. So there's Samuel's dead, Catherine's dead, Randall's institutionalized, I guess. Elisa, I think, is dead. Robert is dead. Sophie was divorced, so not in the family anymore. William is dead. Victoria is all that's left in the direct Gordon family line. Now Victoria's, now William's brother, Richard, had married Eleanor, but they apparently did not have any descendants. And Richard, since the first game, Richard died doing an experiment, and there was an explosion. He killed himself in an experiment. So Richard died. So Eleanor was the last of that castle that was over in Wales. She's now come over and living with Victoria. Okay, so you following all that kind of? So the idea basically is there's literally nobody left from all of the Gordon family except Victoria, who survived her husband, the grandfather's death, okay, and then Eleanor, who survived her husband's death. And that's what you got here is Victoria and Eleanor, who survived the deaths of their husbands, both of whom married into the Gordon family. So they're Gordons by name legally, but they're not actually blood Gordons. So there is no more Gordons as far as we know, except it's now looking like there's a possibility that somehow Darren might be part of the Gordon family blood. Maybe. And what we know is that his mom had an accident. She basically... So there was a fire that killed Samuel's wife. Okay? In that fire, our character here in the second game, Darren, his mom, had rushed in to try to save Catherine. She was unsuccessful, but she got burned a lot, like hurt a lot, burned from that effort. And so she either somebody shoved her out or she jumped out. I don't remember which. Anyway, she jumped out of a window and so did not burn alive in the fire that did kill Catherine. So Darren's mom survived. It now looks like there may have been, not just because of the accident, although that might have been like the guys or something, but it looks like there may have been some kind of child support payments sent to Darren's mom. Why would you send child support payments? Either you're super generous, which, other than the insanity, the Gordons do seem to be kind people when they're not insane, but that kind seems a bit much. It seems more likely that Darren's mom got pregnant from one of the Gordons as an illegitimate, so Darren's like a bastard. And so because he's a bastard, nobody knows, or at least nobody talks about him, but it looks like Darren could very well be one of the Gordons, like the last of the Gordons left. That the blood survives in him somehow. that's what we think we know. But, I mean, you know, what reality is versus what we think we know is another matter entirely. Because obviously we've not finished the game, so we don't have all the clues. Yeah, music is great. I love it too. Yep. Okay, so we need to figure out Bates's first name, and I really have no idea how to do it. I tried using the phone, see if he could call like a records office or something. He says, when I try using the phone, Darren says, I don't know who I would call. So obviously that's a bust. Which also means a second possible route. There's some medical equipment in Bates's room. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I could call the hospital and get records about like who bought that or something. Although that'd be almost impossible to get because like you're calling a hospital, they have privacy laws and stuff. But just in case, right? So I was going to call the hospital potentially, but again, can't use the phone. So we cannot find out through the equipment, the medical equipment. We cannot ask for any kind of like hiring records or anything from Bates. Victoria does not think she's ever heard his first name, and if she did, she doesn't remember because it was only like once forever ago. Eleanor is from a completely different castle, so has no idea. Bates, we won't talk to Bates. Darren refuses. If I click on him, he says he's just going to let him rest. If you go over here to the kitchen, Sally does not have an option to ask about Bates's first name. If we go outside to the stables, there's Lyle here working on a car, but when we try to click on him, Darren also says, I don't know what I would talk to him about. So there's, as far as I can tell, there's nobody alive, like walking around the castle we can ask. So we can't ask anybody, cannot call about any records. I don't find anything in Bates's room to tell me. I don't find anything in the library to tell me. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do to find that out. I've been going through some of the stuff in the inventory here, and none of this seems to give me any information about his last name, though. So I don't know at this point what I'm going to... how I'm going to find out his last name. Or not his last name. His last name is Bates. Find out his first name. And I need that first name because that somehow out of his first name we have a clue for the last symbol to open the jewelry box, which probably has our third mosaic tile, I'm guessing. So this one was left by the Raven outside. This one was in the face of this, just below the globe. Probably a third one will be in that chest, or that chest will have something like a key we need to get somewhere else, maybe. Like, for example, down here, or in the kitchen, this door is inaccessible. Maybe with a key we'll be able to get in there. Anyway, it's kind of hard to say what exactly we're gonna find in the box, but something to help us move forward in the game. You love storms. Yeah, I know. We've talked about this multiple times. I really love storms too. Yep. I've told this before multiple times on the channel, but I'm from originally near Seattle. So yeah, storm country is, I'm very familiar with just general rain, but we have our share of major storms too. Just depends on the time of the year. Usually during the summer, it's usually during the summer less likely to have really like thunder and lightning so much as just rain. And then you have like switch between clear skies to rain kind of back and forth over the course of the summer. Fall and spring are usually where you have more storms because you have the existing hot weather from summer that remains clashing with cold weather coming in, turning it to winter. So that you have some storms that way, lightning and thunder that way, and the same in reverse in the spring. And then in the winter, it's usually cold, heavy rain. Sometimes you'll get snow, sometimes you'll get hail, but usually it's more just heavy rain. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I guess I say storms. There were storms enough that I saw plenty of them, but mostly Seattle is not really storm country so much as just rain country. It's just constant precipitation, right? A lot of rainfall, a lot of snow, or not some snowfall, a lot of rainfall, reasonable amount of hail, but you don't really get a lot of storms overall. But you do get some, definitely enough in the spring and in the fall. Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to look up. How you get that, because I'm really not sure. Let me just do a walkthrough. I think, because I can't think. I've like been over it multiple times now. I cannot think of another way, like something else to do to find. Let me just see. So the one thing is Bates's last name. We're in chapter 5, I believe. Okay. That's all I wanted to see. I didn't want to see anything else. I checked earlier, but there was not one. I guess there is one now. Looks like there's a letter at the mailbox. But there wasn't. I did check the mailbox earlier, but I guess now there is one. One showed up apparently. Okay, so we'll go back. So that's, I guess, what we need is just to go to the mailbox. All right. So we'll go outside to look at the mailbox instead.
Hey, there's a letter inside. It's addressed to Mr. Bates, Blackmere Castle, Willow Creek.
Am I going to use the knife to open it? No.
If Bates's full name isn't going to be on the envelope, then perhaps maybe at least in the letter? It's a bill for
He just opens it,
or
okay.
a gravestone, made according to your desired... The inscription is as follows. Edward Bartholomew Bates, to know one's duty and to carry it through. That is everything. So, Edward Bartholomew then. Weird name. Which symbol does that point to?
Yeah, Edward Bartholomew. I'm not thinking of a symbol that associates with those. Maybe because there was a King Edward at some point, right? Is there a symbol associated with a King Edward? But even if I could look it up, I'd need Darren to find it out, right? In the game, so I'm not sure. It's a cross here. Doesn't really help me with the symbol though. Sally probably won't know. The only reason she helped at all was because this was on the serial cover. He didn't want to talk to Bates before asking his first name, so I'm sure we probably don't want to talk to him now. I give this to Bates, maybe? No. Lyle might know, but I think it's more likely one of these posh ladies.
I don't have
will
any
know.
important questions for her right now. Do the names Edward or Bartholomew mean anything to you?
Mean anything? What do you mean by that, Mr. Fogg?
Perhaps you associate a particular symbol or sign with these names.
Oh, I've always been interested in these kinds of things. Now, Let me think. Now, Edward doesn't have any significance for me, but the name Bartholomew comes from the Bible. Saint Bartholomew. He was one of the 12 apostles. He preached in Persia and also in India, possibly. He died a martyr's death. He was flayed alive. His skin was removed.
Yeah.
That's why his symbol is a knife.
A knife. I think you may well have helped me with that.
Glad to. Even if I do find your questions rather odd, surely they can't all be to do with the dead girl.
Oh, it's a complicated case. I'll go and take a bit of a look around.
Of course.
She's like, what the hell does Bartholomew have to do with a dead girl? Was that her dad's name or something? Okay. So, knife, I guess, is the symbol. And had he not found the letter that said Edward Bartholomew also, it would be even less likely that somebody would find out his middle name being Bartholomew, right? Because usually people, depends, right? But a lot of people, like, you'll have John S. Smith or something, right? You won't know what the S stands for. John is what the guy goes by, right? So Bartholomew would be even less likely, I think. Okay, so I think I just do them in order. Is that okay? So we want cross, rose, knife, star. This is in case I had to do it manually. Yeah, cross, rose, knife, star. I don't know. We're doing this way. I don't know what I do for that, but okay. Cross, rose, knife, star.
That's it.
I didn't
big
know if we were
key.
supposed to start at 12 o'clock or not, so looks like that is what we were supposed to do, though.
There's only one door here whose key you'd hide in a casket. And a small golden medallion. Or at least half a small golden medallion. It must have been one you could open originally. There's small hinges on it. Inside is a photo of me. Me as a little boy, 3 or 4. I'm certain it looks just like the pictures of me as a child in Boston. Was I adopted? There's something engraved on the back of it. Adrian. Is that my name? And if it is, why was it changed when I was adopted? To make it more difficult for the Order to find me?
Adrian! 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 Yo, Adrian, you want to go on a date Saturday night? You know, just a thing. It's just a thing, you know. All right, so this probably opens. Actually could open a couple of things. I'm thinking this opens the key to, like, in the kitchen on that door. But I don't know
The
for
photo
sure.
is in one half of the locket. The name Adrian is engraved on the back.
Yeah, Adrian, that's actually interesting. Adrian, D-R, Drian, right? if you take the Drian part of it, Darren, Drian, they are similar. So maybe that was the inspiration or the way that sparked his name as Darren Michaels. I do wonder with the last name Michaels, though. I think he is still supposed to be a bastard. I don't think he's supposed to be legitimate Gordon Blood. But he is Gordon Blood nevertheless, I think. I kept expecting, like, we walk out of here and Bates to come around the corner and go, "May I help you, sir?" And then, like, have a little pistol or something. But I guess he didn't catch us after all. Okay. Oh, but he's not here now. So there is that. They're both here still. So I wonder where... I feel like we're going to run into Bates with a pistol at some point soon. Now this door's still inaccessible. Okay, so what other doors do we have? There's not a door. There's not a door in the library. Oh, right. Obviously, this is going to go to the burned wing. That makes sense. I know that. Duh. Okay, so. Okay.
Time for a few answers.
It's a cutscene. He just keeps walking, so. So far, this is all cutscene.
This is the only accessible room in this wing. Next door is locked, and all the other rooms are completely dilapidated.
Yeah. I mean, they never did. What did they say about it? They said something like they had some work done to try to do some repairs after the fire, but they did not reset the foundation properly or something, so the whole thing is slowly collapsing over time. That's why they've basically condemned this wing of the house and tell everybody basically you can't go there because it's dangerous now.
The curtains are very tasteful and can't have been cheap. They're probably even made by hand. Little light gets in through the window, and the curtains make the room even darker. Outside I can see a courtyard. Quite dreary.
Sheets.
The material is really rough and old. It's grown stiff over the years.
I know there's the mirror. We had, last time we looked at a mirror, there was, I don't know what you want to call it, an encounter, like a spirit happened with the mirror. That might move us forward in the story, so I'm going to try to check other things before I look at the mirror. Wooden plate, interesting. Okay, let's see what this is about. Oh, well, that's out to the hall. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, so let's look at this.
There's a small wooden plate lying here. It looks like it belongs to a game. I've got the feeling I've seen it somewhere before. Someone has written Ralph on the back.
Okay.
A thing from a kid's game. There's an animal head on the front. And on the back it says Ralph.
That certainly looks innocent and totally not an evil mirror. I know. It's like even got like almost a shape in it, like, come on, you know you want to. You know you want to look, and it's like, nah, I don't want to look. I don't want to look. Then in the diary, what does he say more? Okay, Edward Bartholomew Bates. Yeah, we already got that. Crossroads Knife Star. Yeah, okay. Boom, boom, boom. Would seem that I need some kind of marble or small ball. But I haven't seen anything like that in the castle. I wonder if Ralph has marbles. I've at least found a wooden disc with his name on it. He must be able to help me. Oh yeah, so we probably have to go back and talk to Ralph, huh? Let's finish in this room, and then I guess we'll head back to Ralph and see what he has to say. That is interesting. So did Robert, who was the psycho uncle that was experimenting on people in his asylum, did he bring Ralph here at some point? I know Ralph ended up I don't remember if he experimented on him, but I remember Robert ended up doing stuff to his brother Samuel's dad. Like, I mean, we read about stuff that he had done. Interesting. I don't know what the connection with Ralph is. It was just happened to be, well, you know, take work home kind of thing. Like, oh, Ralph is interesting, so I'll study him more at my place. I don't know. Not sure. Okay, let's look at the fireplace.
There hasn't been a fire in this fireplace for ages. There's some white ashes on the floor, but no wood.
Ashes would not have disintegrated by now? I find that unlikely. But I guess maybe. If literally nobody else is in here to disturb them, if the ashes floated and landed on the ground, does it just stay and not get affected by anything? I guess if there's never a draft, I guess it just stays. I don't know.
It's cool here. I can feel a draft. The wind's probably whistling right over the chimney up on the roof.
Okay, painting?
Another old picture like all the rest. A woman with a rigid face and dead eyes. I can't tell when the picture was painted. Time seems to stand still in this castle. The woman's clothing isn't much different to Lady Victoria's. The woman could have lived here 200 years ago. Or 20 years ago.
Yeah. Not gonna really get anything from that. I'm not surprised.
There's a huge mirror built into the wall.
Okay.
Quite elaborate for such a simple mirror.
Here we go, ghost scare. No? Ghost scare now?
The mirror is very lavish and ornately framed. There seems to be some kind of mechanism at the bottom of it. I've got no idea how it works. I think something's missing.
That'd be that marble, I guess, we've been referring to, huh?
Something small is definitely missing. A ball or something that fits in this hole.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to go back to... Okay, and then I want to go... Is it Willow Creek? There we go.
Hello, Ralph?
Hi, Darren.
Hi, Darren. He's all excited. That's cute.
Ralph, I've got something here and was wondering if you could maybe help me out with it.
I've got one of those too. Here, look.
A sliding block puzzle. I remember those from when I was a kid.
Yeah. Is it yours? A nice lady gave it to me.
A lady?
Yes, I couldn't recognize her, but Mr. Bubby says she's a holy one.
Interesting.
Mr. Bubby says you can have it. It's a bit broken.
Well, that's very nice of Mr. Bubby. Thanks a lot. I need to get going, Ralph.
See you.
He's having too much fun playing his pan flute now. Okay, so this onto here. Okay, I need to get... Trying to see how this reflects out of... Because see, there are only 4 here. So saying something here is a little... Let me see. So maybe these reflect... Maybe these have to pair for groups of 4. No. How does that work? Because you can't group of 4 and have both this and this within this same group of 4. That doesn't work. So what is this trying to tell me? There's also an X here, but I think this is just means you leave this one open when you initially put, like we put the tile back. And so now you have the sliding puzzle, but you start with this blank, I think is what that's supposed to be. Could also be that it's missing one, I guess. I don't know, though. I should be sliding these. I don't know what I'm trying to make out of them, though. There, if I count all of these, and there are 2 in each, that's 8. There are only 4 wide, so that cannot be right. It doesn't work like that. Let me think. Oh, I see. On these, there are symbols, colored. I see. So I'm matching these up with these. Okay. This is going to be a trickier one. Normally with a sliding puzzle, if you know what the final image is going to look like, you solve it fairly easily. So the first row you would put 1 and 2 in place, and then instead of, you'd have this be empty up here. Well, one of these pieces empty. Anyway, you go 1 and 2. Let's say these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you go 1 and 2 here. Then you would put 4 here and 3 here, and this is empty. Like you'd have an empty spot somewhere in here. So then 4 slides up 1, 3 slides behind it, 4 slides over 1, 3 slides in place. Then you 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that, and then you do the same thing to solve the second row. And then the third row, you back them in to the left side. There are other ways of solving sliding puzzles too, but this is the one I use. So you slide them in from the left side. So if this is 1 through 4, 5 through 6, so this is 7. This is 11, so 7 and 11. So then backing into here, you'd go 11 and 7, and you do the empty spot here. And so then this is 11 and this is 7. 11 slides over, 7 slides over, 11 slides down, 7 slides in place. Then 7 and 11 are in position. Then you do the same thing for here, and then you just got 4 left, 3 left, plus an empty spot, and they just kind of fall into place. So you could totally do it with when you know what the final picture is. The problem is, well, I mean, I guess I do actually know what the final picture is. I guess I do. Okay, which one is 2? So here's 2. Okay, so move 2 up. Wait, is this actually 2 though? Hang on. I feel like this might not be. That's not actually 2. This is shadow. This is still 4. How does that work on these then? Like on this, it makes sense because there's clearly. Oh no, there's not. Okay, so it doesn't work. It does not work like that. Damn. Now I'm confused because it does not work that way. See, because as it's sliding, you can see all 4 of these are silver. There's not like a spot where it's one less or whatever. And same here, this is all 4 gold. Crud. Okay, so how am I supposed to know what the final outlook is supposed to be? I don't know. I wonder if... maybe the brown here is opposite. So if I have a silver here, out of these 4, let's say, or yeah, then like let's say I have silver, then maybe that means gold, gold, gold. Does that really work with this though? Shoot. I don't have a clue or something that's going to tell me what I'm doing with these, do I?
At the bottom right, there's a little flap, and it tinkles when I shake the puzzle. Maybe there's something in it.
Yeah, but I don't know what the puzzle's to become. That makes it much harder to determine. Okay. I don't know. Without knowing what the final pictures, I'm not sure I'm supposed to figure this out. Is there anything on these that moves or... No.
At the bottom right, there's a little... I'd just like to get a bit closer to Ralph. If only I knew what I could talk to him about. I think he's a bit weird.
Trying to think of anything with goats and lions back at Black Mirror Castle. I don't think so. See, this family tree, I don't think really had anything kind of indicating what you would want at the slider puzzle. Was there
There seems-
something?
There seems to have been a door there. It leads further into the ruins.
Yeah, okay, so can I not go there?
There seems...
Guess not.
There seems...
He doesn't want to go back to him. Okay. Goat versus lion head, huh? It's a bullhead, so that's not going to be it. I think the ball we want is in the sliding puzzle, maybe. There's a poem, but I think we already used the poem or something. Let me
Morris's
see.
note is ripped down the middle. I can only read a half of the text. It reads to me like part of a poem. Days be done, Gordon's son, hanging law.
Yeah. That does not help out, I don't think, with any of that.
I think that the picture has turned out very well.
Ding. Nope, stop. Okay, stop. Hot spots, diary. I don't know. Somewhere I saved some kind of gallery. I think it's only on the very opening menu of the game or something you can access it. Goat, lion. Cannot think of where I'm going to find a goat and a lion head pattern.
They're drinking tea.
There's a lion up here, which could go along the other side, but where's the goat stuff? That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know of a final picture. How am I supposed to know what the puzzle's supposed to turn into? The board for the tiles is 4 by 4, and each of the pattern bumps indicators are only 2 by, well, they're only the, like, here, I'll show you. So the I don't know what you call them, but like the bumps, these patterns, there are only 4 of these per thing, right? So then you have to, I just don't know. This thing with 4 could indicate this. So the empty area has to be there. But if that's true, that means there has to be an empty area. See, the other thing is, if I'm matching these nubs, 4 of these, what do those match? I thought maybe they match a pattern on this, but it does not look like it now. Because you get the same, right? When there's shadow here, this looks more like the brown nubs. You get it again and again and again. There's only one of these that's going to match on the side. This one, right? Will be maybe 2. So anyway, that's just really confusing what I'm trying to... Guess I'm going to look it up again, gosh. Because I do not know what I'm looking for. The final pattern. I'm very confused. Very confusioned. Did those. It said the only instruction here is match the number of silver and gold symbols with the indicators. That's the pattern I was looking at, but I don't know. Yeah, let me look at it again. So match the patterns, the gold, silver indicators. What am I missing on this? See, this shows 4. This also shows 4. So I don't know. If I leave empty, empty. Let's see. So you can't do... So I'm thinking, okay, so let's say this is a 4x4. So these 2 are not silver, these 2 are silver, but if you do that, that does not match this as a 4x4, because then it's got more than just the 2. Or do you match the other one? But then if you match the other one, this one has more than 2. And then if you say, well, then only 2 and then 1, it's just, I don't know. that, but then oh, maybe. Gosh, I do not know. And all it says is that. That's like super unhelpful. Yeah, I no, I did not switch it back. I did not get anything help wise from what I just read. So I was like, I don't know if that's gonna be useful enough. Let's see. No, okay, I don't think that's gonna help either. Let me. I just need to know like what the outcome is, like what the puzzle, like what are. Match the number of silver and gold symbols with the indicator along the top and left side. Oh, well, I don't know if I can figure that out, but I think I have. I think I might know more like what they're trying to do. Let me. I don't know why I suddenly have no music.
At the bottom right, there's a little flap, and it tinkles.
Did I mute the sound somehow? No. Just randomly decided not to play the music, so I was like, what? What's going on? Okay. So I think per thing, they have to match. So when this and this intersect, out of the 4, I need to have this and this. So this, when this matches here, out of these 4, I need to have a silver one here and a gold one here. The others don't matter. They go to the next set, I think. Which means if this was these 2, this would be these 2, so all 4 of these have to be gold. Is that what we're doing? Maybe. Okay, so these 4 are gold. This, I think, may pertain to this set. That's kind of a stretch, though. Also, it doesn't really work with the silver matching up. Because if this was for these... Well, but then this would be for these, so this would match too. And then if this matches for these 2, then this is 3 is correct. But then I don't know what we do with these. So this is the thing. It's like there's not enough guide to know what we're trying to look at. Man. So on this one, see, again, they always match the same number of nubs. Like all of them look like this when there's no shadow cast. Right? Just like all of these look like this when there's no shadow cast. I am just not getting so gold, silver, do I do one each? So gold, silver, then this should be silver, silver. This is silver, silver, silver. There's no other silver, so that doesn't work for this. I don't know. Maybe the brown is meaning the edge of the board. So if this is here, 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 then this is correct. Then what does this mean? Boom, boom means 2 silver? I guess? Damn. Damn, and double damn. I don't know. I do not know. Wait. I back out again.
At the bottom right, there's a little flap, and it...
So it's basically just saying there's something in it. So I need to find something that's giving me a better idea of how I do this, because I don't, on its own, I really don't think I can find out how I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to stop today. I'm gonna have to look it up during the week. I like between now and when we play next year. I do not know what the pattern they're wanting is at this point. I really don't. We'll go back here. I don't know that it'll help, but this might remind me next time of where we left off. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's much harder to try to solve a puzzle when you don't know what the eventual result is supposed to be, right? That's much more difficult to do. It just generally does not work all that great. There's got to be some way. Like, I thought the nubs were the clue, right? And it looks like, from what I'm reading in walkthroughs or whatever that people say, it looks like that's the clue. But the thing is that the nubs change on the tiles depending on if there's shadow or not. So it's very confusing to me. I don't know what we're trying to do there. So unfortunately, I guess I just have to figure it out later. All right, well, it is what it is. Okay, I will see you in about, if you're able to make it, that is, of course. I'll see you in about another 8 hours. We'll be doing more Stasis Bone Totem. So that'll be coming up soon. Thanks, Faux Fox and Siluel, for stopping by. I appreciate the support, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for your patience as I try to stumble through stuff. Peace.
Poor spider.
This freaking boy. Oh, that's so sad.